Every week I hear my neighbor sold for this much. My friend said my house is worth more. Or I'm not giving my house away for free. But here's the problem: buyers have moved on. They're not paying 2021 prices in today's economy. And until sellers adjust to today's reality, homes will sit on the market. In this video, I will break down exactly what's happening in Toronto's real estate market, why homes aren't selling, how far off expectations are, and what sellers need to do right now if they actually want to sell and move on. Let's start with the numbers. This year's sales across the GTA are on track to be the lowest in 20 years. In September 2025, there were 889 detached and semi-detached properties that sold in the city of Toronto, with 3,534 active listings, which is 25% sales to active listings ratio. This means 1 out of 4 homes were sold. The other 3 will get relisted or carry over to the following month. Let me explain what sales to active listings ratio means. When the ratio is less than 40%, it is considered a buyer's market. Between 40 and 60%, it's considered a balanced market. And over 60%, that's a seller's market. Currently, in the city of Toronto, detached and semi-detached properties are in buyer's market territory. Now, for condos in the city, last month there were 940 sales and 5,971 active listings. That's 15.7%, which is a strong buyer's market. Lots of options to choose from, and buyers have the upper hand in negotiations. Buyers have choice again, and they know it. There are a few exceptions for certain pockets and price points in the city where homes are selling fast. Otherwise, we're seeing properties sit for an average of 47 days on the market. Price reductions and relisting at a new price have become normal in today's real estate market. The gap between what sellers want and what buyers are willing to pay is big. The market is for tough negotiations, which requires a lot of patience. The psychology has completely changed. Some sellers are fixated on 2021 prices, which weren't normal due to extremely low interest rates and government printing money like there was no tomorrow. Meanwhile, buyers have a good understanding of today's market conditions, interest rates, and supply level. Let's talk about the 3 reasons why sellers are struggling to adjust. 1. Anchoring bias. It's human nature to latch onto a number. My neighbor sold for 1.8, so my house is worth 1.9. However, that was 2021, when money was almost free and there were more buyers than homes available on the market. Fear of missing out and cheap money drove the market. Second, denial. Some sellers believe I'll just wait for the market to bounce back. But here's the truth. Real estate doesn't snap back like a rubber band. After a correction, markets move sideways for years before they rise again. The Bank of Canada cut its benchmark rate to 2.25 from the peak of 5% in 2023 to stimulate a slowing economy, which has been rattled due to tariffs and economic uncertainty. Reality is, as low as interest rates have come down from the peak, buyers will come back when they feel confident about their jobs and economic future. It doesn't matter if the mortgage is free if the buyer is worried about losing their job next month. And third, emotional attachment. You've lived in your home, you've raised kids there, you've renovated, you've invested time, money, and have lots of memories. But the market doesn't price emotions. It prices supply and demand. Buyers, on the other hand, are behaving very differently. They don't have fear of missing out. They have fear of overpaying. They're patient, disciplined, they've run the numbers, and they've seen rates rise from the lows of 2021, and they're not overpaying for emotion. In 2021, Emotions were driving the market. In 2025 and beyond, logic is the driver. This shift has completely changed the game. Let me give you a real example. A detached bungalow in Midtown Toronto, beautiful property, great location, shows excellent. The seller's priced based on what the neighbor got back in early 2022, right at the peak. After 32 days and 2 price reductions, they end up selling for less than what they could have gotten had they priced it correctly from the start. My buyers were happy. Pricing right up front is key, since the first 2 weeks are critical, where most buyers' eyeballs are on that property. It's reflected in the number of online views, appointments booked, and second showings. If the property is overpriced, it will sit on the market and sellers will be chasing the market down, losing tens of thousands of dollars, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. When you start high, you lose momentum. The listing becomes stale and buyers will overlook the property. When you finally drop the price, it weakens your position. Low ball offers start to come in and you end up chasing the market down. The homes that sell now are the ones that start at the right price. Here's the truth. Toronto market isn't crashing, it's correcting. Corrections are normal and healthy. The last 10 to 15 years, price appreciation was completely detached from incomes. And after every boom, the market needs time to reset. What's happening now is more psychological than financial. Sellers who adapt are still selling. It's the ones who resist change that are feeling the pain. Here's what sellers need to understand. The asking price is a marketing tool, not the final sale price. I'll say it again. Asking price is a marketing tool to attract buyers to view the property. The more traffic a listing has, the higher probability of it selling close to asking and in less days on the market compared to other listings. Market value is what a qualified buyer is willing to pay in today's market. In certain pockets of the city, pricing slightly below can actually create competition. Now, if you're thinking about selling, here's my advice. As difficult as it might be, remove emotions and don't think about what it used to be back in 2021. Don't wait for the market to come back to you. If you have outgrown your home, this is a golden opportunity. Since the next home you buy, you can negotiate and avoid competition. The current real estate market is a great opportunity for move-up buyers since they will be buying that bigger, larger asset at a bigger discount relative to the peak prices of 2021. If you're contemplating selling your home and moving up the home ownership ladder, download my guide, 3 Mistakes to Avoid When Selling Your Home, via the link in the description below. If you want to know where to price your home in today's market, book a call with me via the link below, again in the description. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.